in the rating system of Hollywood.
Yes.
PG-13, rated R, rated PG, rated G. Which rating is the most profitable?
I would say PG.
Wrong. It's G. The children's films that are animated stories like Cinderella are the most profitable in all of Hollywood, and yet they're 30% of the production. So why would the system make 70% of something that doesn't make as much as the 30%? Why? Because it's spiritual. Because the devil runs Hollywood. And he wants that negative 70% to teach your kids all these other things. But the 30%, which makes the most money, is happiness and loving your mom and dad, and they make the most money. Why would Hollywood make less of the most profitable? Valuetainment, the new thing you're doing. Open your animation division now, my friend. Give the people what they want in their hearts. Don't force them to love your Hollywood agenda.
So tell folks that aren't familiar with this series what Terrifier is about.
Well, the entire franchise, or just
the entire franchise.
Okay.
and then
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's about this killer clown who we find out is now demonic.
That's why Revelation describes him as being a dragon, that even though he is wondrous in his appearance, he is really diabolical and destructive in his behavior. That secondly, the beast, or the Antichrist, poses as being God incarnate, the Son of God. He claims basically to be God come to earth, the God-man, just as Christ was. And thirdly, the false prophet steps in to really feel this creature we read about in our passage, this second beast that appears, is a false prophet. In other words, what does the prophet do? He speaks the words of the Holy Spirit. A false prophet pretends to speak the words of God, but really he's presenting a false gospel and a false message. That this last character, as we read in the passage, has a role, and that is to be an imposter for the Holy Spirit. It says that he performs great and miraculous signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to earth in full view of men. And because of the signs, he deceived the inhabitants of the earth, and commanding them under penalty of death to all to worship the beast first and foremost, and the dragon, who empowers the beast.
All right, our next guest has quickly cemented her status as a scream queen in her horror genre, and now she is stepping back into the spotlight in her new film. Take a look.
I saw him today.
Who? How can you be sure it was really him?
I could feel it.
Who is this Santa? He's scaring my kids.
Yeah, he's scaring me too.
Hey, Santa's handing out presents!
Oh, jeez. This is not Home Alone. I mean, or this is not a Christmas Story at all.
It's like Home Alone meets Saw.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Lauren Rivera is taking her character as Sienna in the next installment in the bone-chilling horror franchise, Terrifier 3.
With bone slicing. Well, hello, headshot.
Hello, baby.
Oh,
wow.
Gorgeous.
And this time, the creepy clown Art is back for more of his terrifying antics. So joining us right now to tell us more is the actress and stunt performer, we should point out, Lauren Rivera. Welcome to New York Living.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm so psyched to be here.
That was too much. I am so scared. That was scary.
Yeah.
You should be.
So,
Yes.
yeah. So you've been dubbed, as we mentioned, the Scream Queen for your role in Terrifier 2, and now we have Terrifier 3. How do you feel about that title?
I don't know if I've earned it yet, honestly. I don't know. I grew up loving horror films, and there are so many horror heroines that I really look up to, and I've had the pleasure of meeting over the past 2 years. I get chills thinking about it. I am so honored that I'm in conversations with some of these women that I really love. I'm just grateful and humbled, and I don't know if I'm there yet, but if people think that, I'll accept it.
Mariah Carey owns Christmas, you're owning Halloween.
Oh my God, that's my dream. I would
like terror royalty. That's pretty cool. So tell folks that aren't familiar with this series what Terrifier is about.
Well, the entire franchise, or just
the entire franchise.
Okay.
And then
Right.
include you.
Yeah.
Well, it's about this killer clown who we find out is now demonic that just likes to go on a murderous rampage for his own amusement, which is I find very interesting about Art the Clown, because Art the Clown is meant to make other people joyful, but he just likes to make himself feel joy by killing people. And
It's a feel-good movie.
It's a feel-good movie for him, not for us.
And you're Sienna.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about your character.
So my character is what some people might call a final girl or the chosen one in the franchise. She was targeted, her and her younger brother, Jonathan, who's played by the wonderful Elliot Fulham, in the second film, and we have survived that film. Spoilers if you haven't seen that. And now we're trying to recuperate and move on from our harrowing, traumatic events in this film.
Yeah. What is it about horror that draws you into this genre?
What I really love about horror is that, especially for anxiety-ridden people like Sienna, it's a controlled environment for people to experience fear, and it helps you find your own strength. And it's also just exciting. It's an exciting genre to just watch.
And what's a movie that recently scared the crikey out of you?
A recent film. Oh my gosh. Actually, Caveat. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's from the UK.
Oh, okay.
It's the director Damien McCarthy. I met him this past weekend. He's incredible. It was the first film in about 15 years that I had to watch a moment through my fingers. It was horrifying.
wow.
So I recommend it for people.
Well, you clearly have no fear if you're doing a movie like this, but you also had to do your own stunts? Or
Yes.
some of them?
I did most of them. I did probably like 98% of my own stunts. And I tried to do 100%, but they were like, what if you get hurt? We can't do that. So I did have Jenna Helmuth, who is amazing, do a good amount of some, like the throwing over the tables and like crashing into things in the third, she does. But the fight choreography I got to do.
Nice.
So it was great.
What's the scariest stunt you've done?
The scariest stunt I've done? I don't know, because I don't find the stunt scary. I find the gag
I'd say jump
scary.
off that step,
Fearless.
Hazel. I'd be like, no!
That's the fun part for me. I really love getting physical. I love feeling what the character's feeling. It feels like I can find the honesty in those moments.
And those fight scenes are such like a dance, a delicate dance. It's
Truly.
amazing.
And we have a wonderful stunt coordinator, Drew Leary. He makes us feel very safe. So it was really a lot of fun.
So nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
And we know you're from Philly, so we're enjoying this day.
She's not scared of
with
anything.
you.
She's from Philly.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
She
in.
knows fear. She's a Philly sports fan.
Yeah, exactly. We had this conversation. Yeah, so I have no fear after that.
Exactly.
Well, Lauren, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you guys for having me.
Great
It was my
to meet-
pleasure.
Great to
And
meet you.
Terrifier 3, by the way, will be out in theaters nationwide October 11th, early Halloween.